Hello, my name is Nicole.
And I am Taylor, and this is the Glitter and Cat Litter podcast. In this episode, we talk about the holidays, the new year, pictures in our house, some little secrets about us that you won't know until you watch the whole thing. If you want episodes early, you can subscribe on glitterandcatlitter.com or YouTube, this channel that you're probably watching this from. If you're listening, you can get it on glitterandcatlitter.com. Please like it. Please leave a review. Subscribe if you haven't already.
You're doing really well.
Enjoy.
Glitter and Cat Litter.
Glitter and Cat Litter. I don't really want to take my headphones off. I'm like real vibing over here.
You're really vibing.
I'm vibing.
I tried to say so many things to you.
Yeah, none of them mattered because
Obviously.
I was vibing.
You can't mess up the vibe, you know?
Literally one of the songs I was listening to.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I was listening to that. The Feed Me, Ophelia. Is it Ophelia? What is the?
Ophelia.
No, Ophelia's Odyssey. Episode number 34. Feed Me, Ophelia's Odyssey. Whatever that DJ mix is a whole lot of vibes.
I just threw. Are we recording
Yes, we are.
on there?
Yep.
Hi, everyone. I just threw a hair tie on the floor, and we'll see if a cat comes and gets it.
How dare they?
Right?
How dare they? You took forever to get ready, so I put away all the Christmas
see
gifts,
that.
kinda. I set this whole thing up.
I was like,
getting
I'll
ready
do
to
that.
go.
I'll do that while he edits this, but you had different plans.
I had different plans. My plans were set this up, you'd be in here, and I set this up, you weren't in here, and so I said, you know what? I'm just gonna keep vibing on my way over to putting the Christmas stuff
Okay, you
away.
know what? Let's talk about today. Let's talk about what happened today.
Oh no, what did we do?
So I wake up. Well, first of all, we sleep in because it was a late night, and
We got home at 1.
it's the holidays, so we're exhausted naturally, but we slept in, which was fantastic. I didn't even set an alarm. Taylor did, which I'm kind of like, why?
I set an alarm for 9:15.
But like, why even set an alarm?
I woke up before it anyway. It doesn't matter.
Did you? What
Yes, I
time did you
did.
wake up?
It's 8:45.
See, you don't even need to set an alarm.
Nope, my body's good. Gets no sleep at all. We're good.
My body would have been asleep until 10:30 at least.
Oh yeah, you'd sleep 12
Because-
to 14 hours a day.
No,
You could.
not 12 to 14. I got 7.5 hours of sleep.
Okay.
So my body would have liked at least 8, which I'm learning is not a bad thing. I used to think that was pathetic,
Oh, you're so pathetic.
and it's not a bad thing at all. Anyway, so we got up, and I am hanging out with the cats. I'm doing my morning. I open my journal. I write 3 words. And Taylor comes up behind me very lovingly, very sweet. And he's like, hey. And he like scratches my back a little. And he's like, what are your plans for? And then he goes, what are your plans? Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm messing you up. And I was like, honestly, it's okay. What are you asking me? And he's like, what are your plans for today? So we talk about our plans for today. And then, of course, in our Taylor and Nicole Fiore fashion, it turns into a whole discussion about remodeling the living room. Not remodeling, moving furniture. Reorganizing. So then that turns into us looking up what we need to buy, what we need to change in the living room and in his office space, which is honestly the same room. And then I make breakfast, then I make coffee, then I make lunch. I'm just standing in the kitchen while he does measurements and things and figures it all out. And then I start laughing as I'm putting our lunch into bowls. And he's like, what are you laughing about? And I'm like, I just realized my journal is still open on the bed with 3 words written in it. And he's like, oh my gosh. So that's been our day. And then I was like, oh my gosh, what were we talking about? That I was like, that's what we have to do today. We have to podcast.
This is what we had to do today.
No, I know, but what were we talking about that I was like, oh, that's what we didn't talk about?
I am unsure.
We were talking about moving something, and I was like, well,
Things in here, maybe?
we were talking about how we make use of this space. And then I was like, oh, that's what we have to do today. Which the day was like, I mean, it's not that.
It's 2:45.
Yeah, it's still pretty early in the day. We've done a lot so far for waking up late.
Yes. My Vibin feels like this feels like my 8:30 in the morning feeling.
Okay, so we're at 8:30.
Maybe like 10.
Yeah, I'm at like 10:30 right now.
Which would make sense for the amount of hours if we get up at 4 at 6. It's like 4 hours past.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of
Okay.
it's kind of vibe. Just kind of vibing through the day.
I want to try going to bed early.
Oh, that's really cool. What's early? 6? Just go to bed in like 2.5 hours?
I want to like get ready for bed at 9.
Why so early?
I want to give it a shot.
I don't like that idea.
No?
Nope. Not one bit.
Hmm.
You are not about to be an old lady that goes to bed at 9.
But if you want to get up at 6,
You say it like I don't already get up at 6.
but my body does not want to.
I never said you had to get up at 6. You said you had to get up at 6. You said you function better when you get up earlier. So I said,
do.
okay, then you should
But
get
I
up
need
earlier.
more hours of sleep.
Says who?
My body that's exhausted. Have you seen under my eyes before I put
Yeah,
concealer
you
on?
look great. You look awesome. You look good.
He is
You look alive.
lying.
I'm not lying to anybody.
Hmm.
You just don't like that you can stay up and you can get an ample amount of sleep that is always an hour more than me. So if I'm getting 6.5 hours of sleep, you're always getting 7.5 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
And if the amount of sleep you should be getting is somewhere between, I don't know, let's say 7 and 9 or 6 and 9 hours of sleep a day,
Mm-hmm.
you're literally doing it.
Then why am I exhausted?
I think you're focusing on it. I think all you're doing is focusing on being super tired and all that.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna try to wind down earlier.
Because I can't imagine that someone who is so cardiovascularly fit is exhausted all day long, every single day, whether or not you do exercise.
I really don't feel more tired. I don't feel more tired when I exercise.
That's exactly my point,
Versus
though.
when I
So
don't.
then why do you think that you're so tired all the time?
I mean, I think it's
I think
really the week we've had.
I think that you're focusing on it and you're only looking at like the last couple days because there's
Maybe.
plenty of time that you haven't been tired and you've been going way more and doing more.
That's true. I honestly felt best when I was waking up really early. Like me feeling good. I felt best when I was waking up even earlier than you.
Then do that. Except you have a real hard time getting out of bed doing
I
that.
really do. That's difficult. You're adding more things to your table in this episode. You should have waited until next episode to keep adding just one more thing every episode. Don't take off your pants.
I don't have any more things in my pockets. That's everything. Oh, wait. I can do more.
Wow.
What does it look like? Can you see it all?
You can barely see the AirPods because they're the same color.
Look at that. There's all the things. I don't have much more.
I have no things.
I don't have anything else. I could put my watch, but I like that on my wrist.
Yeah. I have rings, but I'm not going to take them off.
I don't have much.
Anyway, we have a trip to IKEA to make after this.
Yes, we do. We have a trip to IKEA and potentially a center of the guitars to get the wall hanging situations. Maybe. Also, maybe that center of guitars is actually my mother's house where I have the ones from when I was in high school that are the same thing that I was going to buy.
Okay.
But no, this is wild that this is going to be the first thing that comes out in 2024. I mean, we're recording this a couple days before we're still in 2023.
Yeah.
But like, I literally cannot believe that it is December, nor can I believe that there is less than a week before we are in the new year.
It's pretty wild. I wanted to take 2 weeks off at this point. This would be the second week. And I kind of have, in a way I have, but I have stuff that I need to be up on the 1st that is not yet complete, which is stressing me out a little bit. I told him earlier when I was making food, I was like, I am like overwhelmed without feeling overwhelmed. It's a weird feeling right now. And I feel like during the holidays, like in between, really just in between Thanksgiving and the New Year, it's all a blur for me.
That's only about a month though, so I mean that makes sense. And
So
it's
December.
yeah, and it's busy. I feel like that's pretty busy for everybody. I don't know. I feel like this year though, at least for us, the holidays were pretty like, I wouldn't say unscathed, but like they're pretty mellow, even though there was a lot happening. It was like relatively mellow. I mean, it was pretty busy, busier than normal, I guess.
You know what I think has
Feels
helped
busier?
a lot is that we haven't been drinking as much.
I think in the entirety of Thanksgiving through today, I've had 3 full drinks.
I've had more than that because I had 2 at Christmas.
I had none at Christmas, and I had like 1 on my birthday. Or not my birthday, the day before my birthday. And then,
You sound nasally
sorry.
when you do that.
I've really only had like 3. I had like 1 when we celebrated with our friends. I had 1 when we went and celebrated with my family. And then I don't even think I had 1 at Thanksgiving. So like the culmination of everything around that, I've had 1 more.
That's amazing. Like, it's not like we used to drink a lot, but we used to drink a lot more than we do. And that, I think that has like cleared us a little bit.
Maybe.
More than I'm just now realizing that might be a big factor in why it didn't feel as cloudy.
I don't know. I don't know. That I don't agree. But I also like, yeah, I know that alcohol does that, but that's not why I just feel like maybe I'm in so much better, more present of a place, comfortable of a place that like I actually was there for the holidays, because I don't ever drink enough to not remember anything anyway, or for it to cloud anything. So it's never, I'd say for me that's never the case. In like that specifically, I think it's just more everything else.
I think that you've been very aware of like your energy and like saying yes, saying no to things and timing things better for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that you just doing that for you, because my holidays are they're never nearly as busy as yours, but you being more present and being more calm has made me more present and calm, because then I'm not like worrying about you as much.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
I also think that we just planned better. Like, honestly, everything felt way more planned in like a good way. Like, I feel like even like everything at Christmas at my mom's, like I batch made the drinks for everybody. So like I literally, people were like, I want a drink. I was like, cool, pour the like 3 ounces in over ice.
That is the way to do it.
You know, I had already made everything, so I didn't have to like worry about it. Or like we made like all the appetizers and everything else pretty much way beforehand. So it was like totally fine.
Thank you, Elle.
Yeah, thanks, Elle, for the peak charcuterie board. But yeah, I don't know. It just felt like, I mean, maybe it has something to do with drinking, but that's not what I was thinking. I was just thinking more like, it's crazy. It's crazy how different it feels from every other holiday or any other year that I've gone through something where it's like I actually clearly remember and can like think through it all, but I don't feel like, I guess, negatively reminiscent, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about it this morning that like, I was like, when are we going to take the Christmas stuff down? Not like I'm trying to Scrooge or Grinchy it, like we need to get rid of the Christmas stuff. Because like last year, I think we kept it up till February. Like literally February, like almost the beginning of February, I think. And this year,
I'm sure I have photos, but it was pretty late.
This year, I'm like, we had Christmas and I'm like, I'm good. Like, this was cool. I love all the decorations. It's great. It's cool to see. It's like we've gotten to see the lights and everything, but I'm kind of like, that's okay. We don't need to keep it up. Like, that means we get to think about it for next year and like be excited for it to, happen, and then just kind of move on and do whatever. Like, I'm less like trying to hold on to it to like be like, oh, I need this feeling still. I was very like,
Yeah.
okay. I kind of felt that when we were going to Disneyland. Like we saw Disneyland in the like holiday, whatever they call it, the holiday Disney
Yeah.
with all the wintry stuff. And I was like, this was really cool. I'm glad we got to see it. And then we saw it again like 2 or 3 more times. And I was like, okay. And on the last time we went, I was like, I'm not holding on to it. Like I was stoked I got to see it the first couple times, and we saw it in the day and we saw it at night. And I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't really need to see it more. I was like, that's good. We saw the parade. That's the holiday one.
I did.
Like 4 times.
I did. Just like, I had a hard time the last time we were at Disneyland, and I could not. I was like tired and I was in pain, and I wanted to make the most of our trip. It was like one of those Disney moments where like you want, or it could be anything that's like either expensive or you've been looking forward to. It happens to me a lot on trips because I like build them up so big in my head. And then I have all these plans. And then when I realize I'm just not in the mood for the plans, or like something else is happening that is preventing me from really, truly enjoying it, I just get so emotional and I couldn't move. I was just like still, and I just started crying. And Taylor's like, what is going on? Like, we can come back later. It's not a big deal. And I'm like, it is. I was looking forward to this all day, all week. And then I just like ruined my own plans. And he's like, it's really not a problem. Like, you actually handled that quite well. Me just like being so sad. I don't know why I was so emotional about it, but I was like, I've ruined the day. And then by the time we went to the parking lot, I was like, fine, and forgot about it.
No, you hadn't. You were still very upset about it. But I was like, look, dude, like we're here because we wanted one more time before your pass blocks out for the holidays.
Yeah.
And until the holidays are technically over at Disney. So then you don't see the winterness anymore. And I was like, well, if you want to enjoy it, enjoy it. If you're truly not having a good time, let's
go.
get out of here. I was like, we don't need to be here. I'm like, we can walk around and see whatever it is you want to see and then leave. And if that's too much, then we'll just straight up leave. Like, it doesn't matter.
It was just so funny. I felt like such a child, like just having not even a temper tantrum, but like when kids just get overwhelmed. Adults are better at hiding it, I guess, but I couldn't hide it. I was just like crying. Tears were just streaming down my face.
Were you crying about it because you were so upset that the Haunted Mansion was 55 minutes, but it looked like it was 90 versus the 55?
That was part of it.
Okay. Well, are you mad because you didn't get a sugar plum churro?
Ew, no. No. I didn't like that. The gingerbread, I didn't mind. You guys were all hating on it.
I didn't hate on it. I just said that the ginger tasted too fresh, and it was kind of a jarring feeling getting like a cinnamon sugar churro with the freshness of ginger.
Yeah. What was the good one? Okay, the soft gingerbread was really good, but the soft gingerbread cookie and then the pretzel. The pretzel was really good.
Cinnamon roll pretzel.
Yeah.
Yes, that was very good. My favorite still, the best thing that Disney has done, and they have not brought it back for churro season is, I guess it's not churro season.
Every season is churro season.
I meant to say holiday season, but it's fall. The regular churro with the pumpkin pie dip.
I didn't like that.
Not the cream cheese one.
No, I know.
The regular one.
I like the cream cheese.
No, get out of here, cream cheese. The regular one, it was a regular churro that literally had the inside of a pumpkin pie, like the chilled center of a pumpkin pie. And that was peak festive churro.
They had that not this year, but last year.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was so good. I only had like 2 of them, but like I would eat those forever.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I like pumpkin pie and I like the center of the pumpkin pie, but instead of like a regular pie crust, you give me a churro.
Did you finish the pumpkin pie?
No.
Okay.
God, no.
You finished one slice? What do you mean, God, no?
You had 2 big old slices. Nicole took 2 big old slices of a pumpkin pie. We
like
got
big.
it out like big slices, like a quarter of the Costco pumpkin pie. If you know how big those are, then you can now assume that each piece was 1/8 of the pie. No, it's like 14 inches. So you really took like 6 inches of pie.
Sure.
And you had like a third of it, and then I was eating it, and I had one of your millionaire bars and the rest of the pie, of that piece of pie. and I put it away because I
Okay.
don't want. I'm not sitting
I
here
took
trying
a piece
to.
out of the other slice.
I'm not
too.
trying to sugar overload myself every day for the past week. I'm trying to pace it here.
Pace it.
We're coming down a little. I'm
Also-
trying to not have sugar.
Right before we started recording, I opened up a bag of licorice that I got in my stocking, and I took not a bite. I ate one piece of it. And Taylor's like, "You have so much in your teeth right now. You need to go take care of that."
I said the SH word.
And I had red. So if I have any red left,
You do not have any red. I would have told you before we started.
I'm not bleeding. It's licorice.
I would not have let you start this if you had stuff still in your teeth.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It happens sometimes where like we'll be filming something and I'll have like my underwear sticking out or something. Like this has happened in the past where my underwear sticking out or something is wrong with like my tights or my outfit. And Taylor won't tell me. And he's like, "I thought it was supposed to be like that." And I'm like,
Okay. Hold. We're pumping the brakes real hard on this one.
if you're going to be on camera, check yourself
One,
and then have another line of defense.
pause.
Okay.
Not my responsibility to know where your underwear is for your outfit that you put on.
Fair.
Two, how on earth am I supposed to know where your underwear is supposed to be in your outfit if you don't tell me where it's supposed to be to begin with?
A good rule of thumb for me is that my underwear should not
You're
be showing.
telling me as if I don't already know this. Does it help at all that you're 15 feet away from me? I'm looking in a little 2.5-inch screen and you are wearing nude underwear that is the same color as your skin, and your butt or your hip in the image is like the size of a freaking little, like not even, it's like the size of a little hair on the screen.
That is understandable.
How am I supposed to know?
That's understandable.
Also, how do I know if it was there the whole time? It could have been there after the last move.
True.
You might be getting mad at me for nothing.
I check myself.
Good. Not my responsibility. I don't know. You could be doing some crazy
It
stuff.
honestly is true. Like the cameraman is not gonna call that out on a shoot.
That is a whole different can of worms, but that's not my My responsibility, even as the singular person behind the camera, is to make sure I get the angles and do the camera technical part right, not to make sure that you're doing your part right.
True.
Like if you do your part wrong, I'll be able to tell you that you didn't do it right and the camera looks stupid. But I'm not going to sit there and be like, "Ooh, you know, your cape in this kind of flopped a little funny." Like what do I know? I don't know.
Kind of an offshoot of this conversation.
You're gonna put your hand up and like pause me in that? Jeez. Okay. Sass master.
Sass. We took photos in front of this big Christmas tree in Costa Mesa, and all of the comments, not all of the comments, a lot of the comments and messages that I got are like, "What time did you do this? Like 1 a.m.?" Like, because no one's there. But they like, I don't know why those comments seem mad about it. It was like 5 p.m. when we went, and we just waited.
It's called patience. Photography and videography is all about patience.
It's true. So if you're like, of course, there are places that are super, super crowded that you're never going to get a clean shot of just you.
No, you will.
You think?
How many times have we been somewhere where there's like a ton of people and we go, pause? The Newport Boardwalk is the perfect example.
Yeah,
it is
that's
so crowded, and you just have to wait for that little lull, and you take it when you have it, and then it's gone forever.
Yeah,
And
you
if
just
you
got to
miss
be
it, you miss
ready.
it.
You got to be ready, and you got to be patient. And that's exactly what we did. But yeah, for anyone who goes on my Instagram and sees this beautiful big tree and me in front of it on skates, that was at like 5 p.m.
Well, yeah, it's because it gets dark at like 2.
Yeah.
Sunsets at like, the sun's out for like 6.5 hours every day right now.
When does that start shifting the other way?
Well, the shortest day of the year was December 21st, you know, my birthday.
And the longest day is?
Yeah, so it starts shifting literally the day after my birthday, and it starts getting longer again. It gets shorter, and then it gets longer, and then it gets shorter, and then it gets longer. It does this.
So it's on the way up now.
Mine is the peak bottom, yours is the peak top.
Okay. Because I need some more sunlight.
That is how hemispheres work.
Then, okay, what about the places that are dark, like randomly for 22 hours a day?
The southern hemisphere right now doesn't have It has sun all the time.
That is wild.
The northern hemisphere has
It's
the
darkness.
shadowies all the time. It's worse as you go further from the equator. Is this a geography lesson?
Yes.
Okay.
Please tell me more. I just
The toilets spin the other way in the southern hemisphere, supposedly.
supposedly.
I don't know. I've never been there.
I have.
Well, then you should be able to answer that.
I can't.
Because up here they go right.
I
It goes this way. But then down there, it's so funny, up and down. So I guess technically, but supposedly they go. So they go clockwise here. So supposedly they go counterclockwise. I don't know. I don't.
Please let us know.
Yeah, I can't.
A lot of the toilets now just go whoosh.
Well, I also don't like just stare at a toilet when it flushes, so I can't. I
That's
really
fair.
can't think about it that hard. But yeah, the places where you have sun all day or not sun all day, it's
Yeah.
because they're so far north or south.
That is
And depending
what
on
a
where.
wild experience.
And that's why summer in the southern hemisphere is our winter
Right.
months versus summer for us is the summer months. It's just because of the way it tilts.
It's like you learn these things in school, but then you start to actually think about them and not just like take them for what they are. You actually start to like think about how that all works. And for me, it just kind of blows my mind. Like,
It's not that surprising to me. I took it for what it was in high school or whatever, or whenever we learned that, and then it made sense, and I said, okay. It doesn't quite blow my mind. I'm not trying
It blows my
to
mind.
burst your bubble here, but
no, I'm just telling you, it really is crazy to me. And then like, I don't know. I'm going to sound so dumb.
Do it. Go.
I'm just like, even time zones, it's so crazy to me. Like that I can be talking to someone and then I'm like, wait, where are you in the world? And it's like 9 a.m. for them, like the next day. And like I taught Emma a lesson and it was like just completely different. But then it was hilarious because she's in Australia and it was like hot-ish for her. And it was really hot that day here. And she's like, wait, it's like opposite. And I'm like, yeah, but it's not. It's the same.
No, Southern California is kind of voided from a lot of that.
But earlier before her, I was teaching someone who was on the East Coast and it was freezing for them. And I was like, wow, this is very strange.
Well, time zones is the same kind of idea as the northern and southern
Right.
hemisphere. It's just sideways.
Right.
Because it's like you all can't be on the same one because the sun's in a different spot.
It makes complete sense. But it's wild. I'm sure it wasn't like, I don't know. I never imagined that I would be on a daily basis talking to people like all over the world.
I mean, that's probably why you think it's so crazy because
Yeah.
there's more focus on like, oh, this person is in this time zone, so it's actually this time there
Yeah.
versus you just talking to people local to you who have the same time zone as you forever.
Yeah. Because I remember like back when instant messenger was a thing and I was like chatting with my friends from nationals and stuff and skating that were on the East Coast. It was always so funny because I had so much more time before I had to go to bed. And I'd be like, I just finished eating dinner or something. And they're like, okay, I can only be on the computer for 20 more minutes because I have to go to sleep. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, oh, duh, they're 3 hours ahead of me. That makes complete sense. But I always remember like high school years being like very conscious of the East Coast about what time it was because I wanted to be able to talk to my friends. And my friends here were so confused by that. They were like, it makes no sense. I don't talk to anyone on the East Coast. But now it's just like so drastic all over the world.
The internet has made the world smaller.
And yet so big.
Well, the world's always been the same size. I don't think that's changed.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm not a geologist or a geo dude.
Geo dude.
Gotta bring in a Pokemon reference for us. To go back to your Christmas post,
Yeah.
I am massively peeved that literally everyone is like, these are the most beautiful photos ever. I'm like, literally, screw all you guys.
Why?
they're not that special of photos. I'm like, what makes this so special to all of you?
It looks really good.
It's not that special.
Number one, I look
it's
really
you.
good.
Okay, so it's all about you. Except that I take photos of you all the time in cooler places with cooler stuff happening around you. You're going to make a face like that? What? You just excited that you were in a dress with twinkly lights?
The movement of the skirt was perfect.
The amount of people that said you need to blow that up and frame it. To start, for any of you who don't know, I don't need to blow it up because the image is already like 6 feet by 8 feet just by the way it is. It's not getting blown up.
This is another thing that blows my mind. It's because you took it on the Leica that, like, if you wanted to put that on a billboard, it would look fine.
Technically, no, because I took it as the small one, so it's not that big. But, I mean...
Okay, not billboard. I just ate the microphone.
That's okay. You could do that. I don't know what 18 megapixel comes out to because it was an 18 megapixel photo. But we have software that can blow it up to be like a bajillion megapixels, so it doesn't matter anyway. But the here, you want to know what the actual resolution of the image is? I have it right here. Let's see. The resolution of the image is 3,459 by 5,199. And that is the small version of that image, which means that the pixels are kind of void. But, I mean, okay, so that's from the Leica. And then here's from an iPhone. It's like, which is 10 megapixels less. The iPhone is 2,160 by 3,840, which is 4K. Which also is a little bigger than it probably actually is. Let's see.
Wow.
Oh, here's like a true iPhone photo. Oh, it's also 18 megapixels. So it's about the same size, but there's so much more resolution in the Leica photos.
Yeah.
So it can go way, way bigger and it won't look bad. Like you could honestly print, like we could print it out the size of like the big thing in our living room and it would be fine.
That would be terrifying. My mom goes, you should blow that up and put it up in your house for Christmas. And I was like, picture of me? Just a picture of me?
I was like, what I do for a profession and what you do for a profession, giant in our home.
In our own home.
No, thank
that
you.
That would be very strange.
At least not that one.
I have a question. Like, I know that a lot of people have photos of themselves in their homes. And I don't find that weird when other people do it. But there's something about just like a photo of me. Like I have a photo of Taylor. There's a few photos of you, actually.
Where?
In our room.
What
there's
are you
baby
talking
you.
About? Oh, well, that doesn't count.
And
that's fun. It's funny.
There's you by my side of the bed with the helmet on.
Oh, that also hardly counts. You don't even know it's me.
I know it's you.
But you don't, for sure.
Anyway, we don't have any pictures of us in our home.
Does it count? Does Luke Skywalker and Leia 1 count from Star Wars? Can we pretend like that's us?
We're not brother and sister.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think that one through as I said it. No, we really don't. There's none. Not a singular photo of us in our home.
So I want to know if you have photos of yourself. And I guess if you have like kids, maybe that's different. Because like pictures of your kids in your home, like that's fine. Or like a family photo.
Maybe I just think about photos differently than a lot of people. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's kind of a photographer thing. I don't know. Corey has photos in her house. They have photos in their house. I'm just trying to think about it.
He has photos
that he's taken. Yeah.
I think.
But like I do that with my phone wallpapers. But I think of photos as like memories and things to remind me of people or whatever. Right. So like I don't need a memory of you currently in my home because I stare at you most of the day and then I see you.
I just think that'll be a really funny gift to give him next year.
If you do, I will throw it.
We have a painting that I painted with my skates.
Yeah, but that's
art.
I don't know. I'd like maybe for people who bring people over more. It's like, but it's just.
I wouldn't be like, here
photos,
I am. Yeah, here's me.
Yeah, photos. Yeah, it feels very like show offy or like not even braggy because it's not necessarily bragging about anything, but you're like showing off like, hey, look, I spent money to take a photo here.
I don't know.
You know, I don't know.
But like
here's
in my
family, but also here's my family.
In my mom's home, we have a bunch of family photos.
I don't know, man.
There's a bunch of photos of us in there.
I don't know, man. I don't want it.
Yeah.
I want things that are going to inspire me, not things that are going to remind me. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to be reminded that you also live here. I see you. I know you live here. There's no question.
Maybe someday we'll need a reminder.
No, there's no question. I'll know that.
That is a really interesting thing that's a really interesting topic to me.
Yeah, but we're on the same page, so it doesn't really.
No, 100%. That's why I'm asking everyone else.
Okay.
Because I know a lot of people have a lot of photos in their home, and I don't think that's weird at all. But then when I think about doing that,
yeah, if I was to have,
it's weird.
Not a chance. It's also weird for me to think about taking a photo that I've taken and making it a thing. I don't need that in my life. I'll put that on my phone background.
I would do that, like the sunset photo that we do have posters of.
Yeah, I'm too
on
fickle.
The site. That I would put up somewhere. I love that photo.
That one's not a very big one, though. I can't blow that up too big.
Oh, I don't care how big it is. I just love it. I would put it up in here.
You just looked as though it's going to be like 15 feet by 8 feet or something.
No, I was looking at the blank space where there are blank spaces.
Oh, you want to hide it behind the light so you can't see it except for when you go look behind the light?
I guess I could put it right here.
Yeah, there's not really... That's another thing. Is like we have very much so filled our wall space.
And we have really big walls.
Yeah, we've filled our home with art and lots of things.
But it's
very funny because the things that I never, ever, ever thought that I would put in my home is anything Disney. I never thought I cared that much about Disney. And I also just kind of like was very okay with you not wanting anything Star Wars. And our walls are like it's not all Disney and Star Wars, but there's a lot of Star Wars and there's a lot of Disney.
Yeah.
But it's all the like cool vintage stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but like it's also like a vibe. It like exudes a cool feeling.
It makes me wonder and think. Like
I wonder.
It brings curiosity into my life because I want to know. Like the thing about Disney. I feel like I've brought up Disney so much in the past few episodes.
That's okay.
But the thing about Disney that is so fun for me is that whenever I'm there, I'm just like, oh my gosh, there are so many possibilities. Like someone thought to do this. Number one, someone was crazy enough to be like, yeah, people will want to come to this place that I make. And it's going to be themed around this mouse. And what? Like, you would think that person's crazy. And yet, it is what it is. And, like, it's just a nice reminder whenever I, like, walk into Disneyland, I'm like, okay, any crazy thought that I have could be the next Disneyland.
And think about how many things that are there that never would have existed if somebody wasn't crazy enough to be like, I believe this will work.
Right.
And I trust that I'm going to make it work. Or they're like, I have no idea how to do this, but it was my idea and I have to figure it out. And they do it anyway.
How wild is that?
And then you write it. And it's safe enough to write.
And it's safe.
Right? How crazy. That's the crazy stuff too. It's like, which is also more than just Disney, but like,
yeah,
it's just wild to think about stuff like that. Like you don't have to do that. Anyway, I don't know.
Interesting.
I really genuinely think about that with like photos. Like we also don't, that's the other thing too, though, is we don't have photography like at all in our house. True. There's not a lot of photography that I feel called to own.
Yeah, like real life photography.
Yeah. And I don't know. I honestly think it's because I get more inspired and interested by art or like
abstract.
Or it's like created. It's like, I don't want to call it digital, but most of the art that we have is, well, no, all the Star Wars stuff is not digital. It's been created into digital. But like most of the stuff we have is art versus photography, which photography is also art, but like, I'm meaning in the like actually like not captured by something.
Yeah.
Art. Not imagery. There we go. Ooh, using big words.
It
is very interesting, right?
Very interesting.
It's very weird to think about that.
Yeah.
I don't think a single thing that is on our walls is we have one photo on our walls.
What photo?
It's the one of me, right?
Yeah, that's
Isn't that
it.
the singular photo?
Because like
Yeah,
if you walked
everything
into
else
our
is-
home, if you remove the baby picture and then there's a picture of Scarlett in front of it, if you remove that, you would not know who lives. If you didn't know us, you wouldn't know who lives here.
You would probably look and be like,
These people are weird.
yeah, or they're wild. These people are crazy. Yeah,
You wouldn't know.
Not a one. We used to actually know, you know what? The only place that we had pictures was when we had the cork board that had all of the little
Yes, but we don't even have
thingies.
that.
No, that's in the closet now.
Yeah.
We don't need that. Yeah, no, we don't need any reminders.
I need to put that somewhere that's not there because it's really hard to get to my clothes that are in there.
Okay, we put it there so that you wouldn't leave it there.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we add that to the list of things.
We have a lot to go through today because here's the thing. When you go to like put Christmas away, then you realize like I can't just like and Christmas decorations, Christmas presents, like all of it needs to go somewhere. And you're like, I can't just add that to the mess that I've already created in this drawer or cabinet. Like I have to clean it up.
Okay, let me clarify here really quickly. She will,
But I won't.
but you will. Taylor won't let you.
If I was in a hurry, I would, but I'm not in a hurry.
I love you. And you are very not being honest with people right now. Do I need to bring up
think
the
I've
I need to bring
changed.
up the cat throw up story again?
Oh, no. No. I think I have changed. I think I have.
I'm positive you haven't. I love you. You're not there yet.
Hold on. This is a bigger topic that we need to discuss another day. There are so many little growth things that each of us go through, so many little changes that we feel, but others don't see them necessarily. And just because we're not perfect, which we're never going to be perfect, just because we're not perfect yet, doesn't mean we haven't taken a lot of steps to improve.
Look, glad you're improving. I can promise that you have left a lot of stuff out in the bathroom that you could have put away, but you just didn't. And you're going to use the excuse of hurrying up for the podcast or something. But I promise that if I don't bother you about it, that'll be there till tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I promise that your desk will have crap everywhere and it will be left out if you were to use it.
What is that?
It's a new thing for you. I promise that all the stuff that's over there that's supposed to be really organized that you're supposed to have put somewhere a long time ago, like months ago,
I'm just
hasn't.
supposed to read those.
You're also supposed to read a book that's over there that you have neglected for 5 weeks, and a magazine that you have neglected over into that corner. I have seen it every single day, and I have not said anything, waiting to see when you might remember that it's there, and I don't think you have.
I remember every time. I just haven't read it yet.
I'm still pretty certain that you just ignore it.
Oh, well, I do. Yeah.
Yep. See, okay. So there's not much change there. There's plenty of stuff in this closet that's supposed to be more organized that you just overlook all the time. So yes, while there may be some improvements, there's a lot of room to grow. So don't come at me with you are very improved and I'm ignoring all of it.
Yeah. Just acknowledge that I've gotten better.
You sure? Yeah. Proud of you.
He doesn't believe it.
I don't not believe it.
I have. I promise.
I'm not saying you haven't.
You know what? I don't have to prove anything to you.
Exactly. You don't have to prove anything.
I have.
Yes. Just not.
I wasn't talking to you.
Just not.
I was talking to them.
Okay, fine. Then I'll talk to them too, and we will talk to each other through them. She has improved, but not enough to match her words.
Please tell Taylor thank you, but no thank you.
Please tell Nicole I love her, but you're wrong, and I'm. What did I say?
Wait, what did you say? I
I
wrote
feel-
it down in a note.
I don't. Do I still have the?
But you're wrong, and
I have it right here. I said, I fully agree with myself, and I don't care. Can you please tell Nicole that I fully agree with myself, and I don't care what she says anymore?
can you please tell Taylor that I agree with myself, and I don't care what he says.
Well, it doesn't work when you say it second, does it?
Yeah, it does.
No.
Someone was talking about the silent treatment the other day, and they were like, oh, yeah, when I'm mad at my husband or boyfriend, I just don't talk to him.
There's no chance.
There's no chance. Even talking to you to get to him was really rough. I don't like that.
We're talking the whole time. Communication is the best part of, or the best way to keep your relationship going. You didn't come here to learn about relationship advice, as far as I'm aware right now.
Maybe.
We're at the end of this episode. Nice to meet you.
Oh, look what you've done.
No, look what you did. Why are you shaking my hand? You idiot. What?
I don't know. It just felt right. I needed to touch you.
No.
Anyway.
Communication is key. Do it.
Communication
Do
is
it.
key.
It's so much more important than anything else.
I've even gotten better at that.
You have. See? Improvement. Look, you improve. You do stuff. You get better. Sometimes you get worse before you get better.
I get worse, then I get better, then I get worse, then I get better.
It's called a roller coaster. It's life. It ebbs. It flows. It happens. It goes. Woo! Is this where we say goodbye?
We gotta go to IKEA.
Oh my goodness. Merry 2024. First episode of the year, baby. I don't know. God, I have too much energy. I don't know what's going on. I'm starting to get hot. I got excited. It's like making me...
All right. I'll close it out. Thank you so much for being here. I hope this year is a great one for you. I hope all your dreams come true. I hope you stay healthy and happy.
And you stick to your resolutions.
Yeah, but I'm like, what? I'm not big on like fully big resolutions at the beginning of the year. I think I'm going to do like monthly.
That's great. We'll see how that goes. For all of you that do the big resolutions, it's not that I don't believe you, but that seems like aggressively difficult. For all of you that have resolutions and you haven't really quite thought about having lots of resolutions, you should make listening to the podcast one of them.
Ah.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
That would be fun. I would say let's keep
unless you don't like us, then don't make it your resolution. But if you like us, you should make it your resolution.
But we'll keep doing that anyway.
Us keep doing the podcast as a resolution?
Yeah.
How dare you?
You got to put some easy ones on there so you feel
No, you don't.
Okay, thank you so much for being here. If you would like to get episodes early and exclusives, there will be more coming. Please get a membership on YouTube or on glitterandcatlitter.com.
Goodbye.
Bye. Glitter and Cat Litter.